Winning Blueprint presents. In the Lab. 5 minutes or less.
Had so much success with it before, I'm back with it again, the 5 minute or less series here with the Cleveland Browns and the schedule release. Hi, I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me here with the Cleveland Browns once again. 5 minutes on the clock. Let's get started. So you look at the schedule, and the first thing that always pops off the page to me is primetime games. Well, we're talking about the Cleveland Browns. This is a team that has not had success over the last decade or so. And so you know that they're not going to get a lot of primetime exposure. However, the NFL put in a revision last season that sees every single team in the National Football League get at least one primetime game. And it's always on Thursday. So the Browns, look, what do you know? Have a primetime game on Thursday Night Football. Week 5, home, Buffalo Bills. So you got a chance to showcase your football team for everyone to see on Thursday Night Football versus the Buffalo Bills, a team that you played last year at home and were not able to beat. You got them coming to your place, primetime game, crowd should be amped, find a way to get it done against the Buffalo Bills at home on primetime on Thursday Night Football. You look at your divisional games. Baltimore Ravens, Super Bowl defending champion Baltimore Ravens. Week 9, you got them at home. And last year, you should have beat this team at home. You had them on the ropes, and you had them for about 3.5 quarters, and then the game just fell apart for you. You got to find a way to beat the Ravens if you want to make any headway in this division. Week 9, you got them at home. Week 2, you got to go to Baltimore. And that could be a big game. Look, week 2, early in the season, you're still trying to find yourself. You want to go and win that game, but if you don't, it's understandable. The week 9 matchup at home, though, you got to find a way to win home games within the division, especially against a team like the Baltimore Ravens. That week 2 matchups, that's going to be tough because that's going to be the Ravens' first game of the season at home. So essentially, their home opener, they're going to get their Super Bowl rings. It's going to be emotionally charged. That was supposed to be their kickoff weekend game, but it wasn't because of the discrepancy in the schedules. And so that's going to be, for all intents and purposes, their home opener, their big shebang. And you guys are going to be that team that they get to play on their homecoming. So that could be a tough game for you. We'll see. Pittsburgh, you got them at home week 12. You got to go to the Steelers in week 17. And so, look, at the end of the year, that's going to be a tough matchup. You got them at home. You were able to take care of business against the Steelers at home last year, even though it took you 8 turnovers to get it. Look, doesn't matter how you get it, by hook or by crook, you were able to do it. Let's see if you can duplicate that again. Have some consistency against the Steelers. Beat them again. Let's see what you do against the Cincinnati Bengals. You got them at home in week 4. Last year, you were able to beat them at home. Now, on the road was a different story. It was a shootout. You gave it a run, but they were able to take you out at home. Can you get your rivals within the state of Ohio twice in one season? Got to get them once first. You got them in week 4 at home. Let's see if you can get that one first and then be greedy and go for the gusto and get them on the road in week 11. You look at anomalies. And for me, an anomaly on the schedule is 3 straight road games or home games, 3 out of 4 on the road or at home, or 4 out of 5 on the road or at home. And that's an extremely rare case for most NFL teams. They try to stay away from giving teams 3 straight of anything and 4 out of 5. Let's look at the anomalies. You've got one of those rare 3 straight home game anomalies. So you've got a home anomaly. Week 4 versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Week 5 against the Buffalo Bills. And week 6 versus the Detroit Lions, all at home. So you've got a 3-week stretch where you're at home. You don't leave your friendly confines of Paul Brown Stadium. Feels good. But you're going to pay for that at some point later on in the season. When you get 3 straight home games, trust me, somewhere along the line on your schedule, you're going to have some kind of brutal stretch where you're on the road for 3 out of 4, 4 out of 5, or maybe even 3 straight. So you look at an away anomaly on your schedule, 3 out of 4 on the road. And you knew that was coming because you had 3 straight home games. Week 14 at New England. Week 16 at the Jets. Week 17 at Pittsburgh. That's a tough stretch at the end of the season. If you're playing good football, that could make or break your season. We'll see. That's a tough little anomaly toward the end of the season. You look at your bye week. It's week 10. Every team, just about every team in the league, I have a timeout for it. And timeout. I need to look at the schedule. Timeout. You got divisional games backloaded on your schedule. And that's the timeout on your schedule. Is 4 of your 6 divisional games are after week 8. So you need to be playing some of your best football toward the end of the season because that's when you're playing all of the teams in your division. 4 of the 6 divisional games that matter are in the back half of your schedule. Got to be playing some of your best football. You hear that sound in the background. That means that was the Cleveland Browns schedule release in 5 minutes or less.
5 minutes or less.